Alright, you nines, welcome to your third video, even though it says video 2, we're really on video 3, having watched Qualities of God and Design Argument. Right, let's move on to the next way of proving that God exists, and this is the Cosmological Argument. Don't forget to take your notes. To start with, before we look at the argument itself and where it comes from, have a look there and you can see a stack of dominoes, and we call this a domino rally. Now, I've tried making one of these before and they're a right pain to do because you've got to get each and everyone stood up and near each other, and it's just difficult. Anyway, if you have managed to do this, or if you've seen it before, you'll know that what happens is when you push the first one, it falls into the second one, which falls into the third one, and so on. And then eventually they all come tippling down. And that is a domino rally. And it's really important that you realise that it all happens because of the first domino falling. Without someone flicking it, they all stay stood up. Right, so the cosmological argument. The guy on your right is St. Thomas Aquinas. He's a Catholic saint, which means that he is Christian and he believes in God. Now, the cosmological argument is another way for people to prove that God exists. So, as far as Aquinas is concerned, he wants to find a way to kind of make everyone believe that God is real. And so the argument we're going to be looking at is one way that he proves this. Now, the first step of the cosmological argument is in the red box up there. It starts off with a person accepting that everything has a cause. Think back to the domino rally, and that first domino being knocked over caused the second one to fall over, which caused the third one to fall over, which caused the fourth one to fall over, and so on. Now, the cause of that is someone flicking the domino down. Once you accept that everything has a cause, then we can move on to the second step, which is the blue box. That is, that the universe could not come from nothing. If everything has a cause, how can the universe just pop into existence? If you want to put it into more human terms, you and I didn't just appear from nothing. We were born, and that cause was our parents meeting each other and then having us. Their parents met each other and had them, and so on. There was always a cause that led up to things happening. If you end up in detention, the cause of that is your bad behaviour. Now, once you take that and expand on it, you end up with the universe could not come from nothing. There had to be something that caused the universe to exist, that caused our world to exist. The third step, the green box, says that something had to exist first then. Before the universe, there had to be something there, like a first cause, something that's going to kickstart the universe and get it going, get our world into existence. And so Aquinas sat there and thought, who would be this first cause, or what could be this first cause? What would be that one thing that could come before everything, that one thing that's going to knock the first domino down to cause the rest to fall? And as far as he was concerned, having read the Bible, having seen passages that you've looked at in your lessons, it had to be God. The Bible tells us that God is eternal. We've looked at that. We've seen the evidence that Christians have to suggest that God is eternal, as well as being omnipotent. And therefore, is it really that strange to suggest that God is the first cause? If we know that God is beyond time and space, beyond life and death, surely he could be the first cause. And so following those 4 steps, Aquinas was convinced that he had found a way to prove that God exists. Now, your challenge, Year 9s, in your notes, refer back to the note-taking video if you've forgotten, but in your notes, I want you to show me each cause that led to you being here. So start off with you being born, what caused you to be born, and see how far you can take it. What is the first cause that led to you existing? Now, that's very tricky, and some of you might be able to take it all the way back, some of you might not. I'm going to leave it to you to see what you come up with, and we'll look at these in class. Okay, let's see if you can find your first cause. Right, well, we've come to the end of this week's video. You need to be able to summarise the cosmological argument as a way of proving that God exists. If you've forgotten anything, if you want to double check anything, if you want to make sure your notes are sorted, please go back to the beginning and re-watch. If you've forgotten how to take notes, watch a note-taking video. You'll find that under one of my playlists. And if you are unsure of anything, please re-watch the video, check with a friend, or as a last resort, come see me before the lesson. You must bring your notes to class with you. You cannot take part in the lesson without your notes.